generally, I really want to talk on these podcasts. I just want them to know that Miller and Miller, or lawyers in general, can be a place of comfort and can be comforting, that they know that they can come to and have their questions answered in a way that it's not in a pressure filled way. What's really important is I want our listeners to hear our clients' stories and understand that we're not here to tell our clients what to do. We're here to offer clients and our listeners options so that they can make the best decisions that work for them and their families.
Hello and welcome to this very first episode of the Miller Law Chronicles. I am co-hosting today with Jamie Miller. Jamie, are you there?
I am.
Awesome. Glad to have you here, Jamie. What I wanted to start this interview off with is just real quick, who are you and who are your clients?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you this morning. And my name is attorney James Miller, but I go by Jamie. And I am a lawyer here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we serve the entire state of Wisconsin. We have a general practice focusing in the area of bankruptcy, personal injury, consumer rights, debt negotiation. We do tax law. We also do personal injury law.
Awesome. So for someone who might be in your local community there in Milwaukee, what is some of the problems that you can help them solve? And then how do you guys help them solve it?
Yeah, so we are really focused in the area of bankruptcy, but we've expanded into other areas. And we always encourage people that have legal questions in essentially immigration, bankruptcy, personal injury, or consumer rights to reach out. We have a free consultation. We're happy to meet with anybody and address their concerns. And then once we have an opportunity to meet with our clients, we'll set up a strategy planning situation with them where we'll review all of their options and work with them to choose the best option that works for them.
Awesome. That makes a lot of sense. And I know attorneys are always, tent poles in the community, and you guys do a lot to help grow your community. What I want to talk about is the purpose of this podcast. So what is the Miller Law Chronicles, and what are some of your goals for putting a podcast together like this for both for your company and for your community there in Wisconsin?
I'm very proud that we have a practice that serves people. And sometimes the clients that we serve are scared about contacting a lawyer. They haven't had a lot of experience with that interaction. So my goal with the podcast is to take the fear out of contacting a lawyer, to let clients know that their problem may not be unique and that we are able to help them. And during the podcast, I really want to focus on our clients. I want my listeners to hear true client experiences that they can relate to so that they know that there's a solution for their problem and that we're here to help offer a solution.
Awesome. So you're going to be using the Miller Law Chronicles to actually tell stories of people in your community who have had to either use your services or have some sort of interaction with, our justice system in some way to sort of, I guess, reveal, or what's the word I'm looking for, to sort of take away that dark, scary cloak and dagger thing that those of us who don't work in the legal space all the time might have, that fear that we have around, the justice system.
Right. And I've already started, I'm talking to our clients that we've worked with in the past, and they're really excited to jump on to our podcast and share their stories. And I just really think it's going to be enlightening to those in our community to really see what people have gone through and how they've been helped.
Yeah. And so you're going to be doing stories with past clients. You're going to be doing some questions and answers on legal things that are going on. You're probably going to do some stuff in the community. How is this podcast going to help, your listeners and, maybe your potential future customers solve their problems, either, better, cheaper, faster, higher degree? How's this going to help?
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to set expectations. So our future listeners know what type of services that we can offer It's going to help them understand what we need from them to help diagnose what their problem is and find a solution. And generally, I really want to talk on these podcasts. I want them to see my face. I just want them to know that Miller and Miller, or lawyers in general, can be a comfort, a place of comfort, and can be comforting, that they know that they can come to and have their questions answered in a way that doesn't, um, it's not in a pressure filled way. And I also, what's really important is I want our listeners to hear our clients' stories and understand that we're not here to tell our clients what to do. We're here to offer clients and our listeners options so that they can make the best decisions that work for them and their families.
That's wonderful. So, I know if people who are familiar with podcasts, they know podcasts sort of show up all over the place. You're going to be on YouTube. You're going to be on iTunes. Also, I believe you're going to be putting a podcast page on your website. What is your the website address where people will be able to get links to all the various locations they might be able to listen? And then, second question: how often are you going to be producing these podcasts? People can subscribe and sort of know what the cadence is going to be for the stories you'll be talking about.
Right. So the best place to go is to millerlaw.com. We will be posting our podcast to our website, and we hope to do that weekly. As far as the posting goes, the goal for me right now is to record one podcast per week. Sometimes if I have clients that need to get in more than one a week, we may do, but the goal is to get a podcast a week published and out to the community.
Wonderful. So I know your podcast this is the very first episode. And so starting with the next episode, that's where you start getting into the community stories and the stories of your clients and getting into the legal questions and answer those kind of things. So really excited to help you get the Miller Law Chronicles off the ground. Jamie, thank you so much for hopping on and doing this short introduction for the Miller Law Chronicles. Do you have any final thoughts for your community before we cut this first episode and let people get to the meat of the content in episode number 2?
Yeah, I'm really excited to also hear from those in the community, to be able to email me or communicate with me on social media that allows me to understand what their questions and concerns are. And I hope to develop podcasts in the future that will be able to address what's going on out there in the community.
Awesome. So like as a final thought, you also want to use the Miller Law Chronicles to answer the questions your community might have about their legal stuff. And they could, I assume, either email you, message you on social media, or submit a contact form on your website to like, hey, can you cover this on your podcast? And those are things that you'll inform the content of your podcast from what your community is looking for.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's really cool. Well, I look forward to seeing where this podcast goes and how it grows and how it supports your community. Jamie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us today.
Thank you, Richard.